We have Ravi Viswanathan, Managing Director at TVS Supply Chain, joining us this morning to try and give us a sense. They are making fresh investments in their 3PL, which is their 3PL subsidiary. Ravi, let me start off with that peg because that was the latest news. The 100 crore rupee investment that you're making in 3PL. First off, very good speaking with you. That 100 crore investment, give us the sense, give us the backdrop. It's of course a subsidiary, right? What's the thought process behind doing this Capex?
Good morning, Harsh. Always good to be here.
Good morning.
Yeah, it is a subsidiary, and the subsidiary is on an expansion mode. So the request was for us to, infuse capital specifically to support their growth, both organic and inorganic. The company is a very profitable company, very profitable subsidiary within the ISCS family, and we are looking at how we can support them in the growth. We see a lot of opportunities, and they are, the subsidiary really looks at a sector which is non-auto, which is focused on energy and the retail and FMCG business. So it gives us a lot of diversification of our portfolio, and that's really what we are focused on in infusing that and supporting that growth, which will come both from organic and inorganic modes.
And give us a sense of the larger business. How are the moving pieces playing around? You've got crude, for example, which is very, very stable at that $60 per barrel mark, which obviously aids most of your businesses, and it also gives you some bit of margin uptick. Give us a sense as to what this does in terms of future visibility. Can possibly margins surprise on the upside given the way in which crude has behaved? Your global freight services business obviously relies on this, and therefore I'm getting to that in terms of the line of questioning.
Right. Let me put it this way, that as we are in the middle of the quarter, I would say from an India perspective, we're pretty bullish. We have a few significantly good deals which will give us boost into both the revenue and the margins. Both from a linear perspective, we expect a good growth on the revenue and on the margin expansion. Deals which are on both on the freight business and the integrated supply chain solutions business. So the environment is stable. I think the macro at the trade is less volatile. Therefore, it augurs well as we step into Q3. I mean, step from Q3 into Q4.
Ravi, the other thing I wanted to talk about was, with your net debt now inching up, how is it that you're planning to fund this round of Capex while keeping, of course, leverage under control?
Now, can you just repeat that question?
Right. I just wanted to understand, this fresh investment that you're making right now, how is it that you're planning to fund this?
Oh, it's completely from internal accruals. And one of the things that we had spoken about in our last quarter also was the fact that we have a very focused program in cleaning our balance sheet. We have a very healthy balance sheet, and it's going to be funded entirely from accruals.
Right. And what about your overall debt on the books? Because, your investors would want to know, how is it that you're looking to retire this debt?
I think at our debt, we only have working capital debt. So actually, we are in a very good shape. That's why I said we have a very healthy balance sheet. Our focus has been in this fiscal to have a clean balance sheet, and that's really what we have done. We have very good cash generation. Our debts are predominantly looking only at working capital debt. So I think we are in very good shape from the debt front.
And ISCS, are you seeing stronger traction on that part of the business? What should you do in terms of improving the client count? What are you doing in terms of what measures are you taking to try and push up the top line?
I think this 100 crore infusion is really focused on the ISCS business. It's focused on the India market. I think we see huge opportunities in India, especially in the non-auto segment. And therefore, this investment is going to come in very handy in terms of how we expand our portfolio in the retail side, in the FMCG side, which are relatively lower in terms of our segment penetration. That's really our focus. So we are very bullish about the ISCS segment. We will hopefully at the end of this quarter declare a few wins. We're very excited about some of the early wins we have had this quarter. So ISCS is looking good. I've said that earlier in the Q2 earnings also, that ISCS is a very solid business, very, very healthy pipeline, and we are seeing some early conversions.
Are these wins, Ravi, you got me curious. Are these wins in the Indian marketplace? Are they abroad? Because your predominant revenue comes from abroad, and therefore, is it export related wins? Is it domestic wins?
No, it's a bit premature to comment for me on the Q3, but let me just say that yes, we have had a couple of very strong wins in the India market.
Okay, excellent. What does this do to your top line in terms of contribution, Ravi?
We expect while Q3 we will have to see how much of that revenue translates. We expect early revenue translation to Q4. So between Q3 and Q4, we should see a good linear growth on our top line in the India business, specifically on the ISCS segment. So hopefully we'll see higher single-digit growth linearly if I look at it from a Q3 to Q4 perspective based on these wins.
And the fact that you're focusing on India, you'll also have very good visibility on what's happening with regard to competition here and how tough that is. Give us some color on that. How are you coping with it?
India is always a tough market. I think the differentiation for the TVS supply chain solutions business is really the ability for us to stitch solutions based on some of our technology platforms, which are indigenous, which are made, which are homegrown. And that's where we're differentiating. But the competition is intense. It's a very price-sensitive market. So we have to find levers through automation to enable our margins. And that's really where the company is focusing on. I think I mentioned at the end of the Q2 results that there are early initiatives on AI and agentic AI specifically. We expect to get that as a significant differentiator as we enter into the next fiscal.
And Ravi, guidance, does that at all change given the kind of wins you've had? Mid-teens kind of guidance is what you've given. You believe that that trajectory continues along with the margin guidance?
Look, our mid-teen growth is what the company's vision is. Every town hall I speak about mid-teen growth, but we're bullish about double-digit to early teen growth. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Ravi. Thank you so much for coming in and speaking with us.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time. And viewers, what we'll do is we'll slip into another very short break. On the other side, we'll continue the conversation with regard to markets. Stay with us here on